Imagine a world where justice wasn't just about punishment, but about striking a fear so profound it echoed through generations. We're talking about ancient times, where the lines between law, cruelty, and spectacle were often blurred. Among the many brutal methods devised by ancient civilizations, one particular punishment from the mighty Persian Empire stands out as uniquely horrific. It's a tale that sounds like something straight out of a nightmare, and honestly, it's going to make you incredibly grateful for modern sensibilities. So, let's peel back the layers on arguably the most terrifying punishment ever conceived by ancient Persia. The Persian Empire, particularly the Achaemenid Empire, was a force to be reckoned with. At its peak, it stretched across 3 continents, from the Balkans to India, holding sway over an astonishing portion of the world's population. Maintaining control over such a vast and diverse dominion wasn't just about military might, it also required absolute authority and, sometimes, extremely severe deterrence. When you commanded an empire of that scale, demonstrating power wasn't just symbolic, it was essential for preventing rebellion and ensuring obedience. This context is crucial when we consider the extreme nature of some of their justice. The punishment we're talking about is known as scaphism, often translated as the boats. The very name gives you a hint of its unique horror. While its historical prevalence is debated among scholars, the detailed accounts from ancient Greek writers like Plutarch paint a vividly disturbing picture. This wasn't a quick, clean execution, it was a drawn-out, agonizing process designed to inflict the maximum possible suffering, both physically and psychologically. It's a method that truly blurs the line between punishment and outright torture, making you wonder what kind of crime would warrant such a dreadful fate, right? Here's how it reportedly worked. The condemned was stripped naked and placed firmly between 2 boats, or sometimes even hollowed-out tree trunks. These boats were carefully fitted together so that only the victim's head, hands, and feet protruded. They'd be bound tightly to prevent any movement, completely immobilized. Imagine the claustrophobia, the utter helplessness, as you're sealed into this confined space, unable to shift, unable to escape. It was a setup that ensured complete exposure to the elements and whatever else the environment had in store, which is pretty wild, by the way. The torment didn't stop there. For days, the victim would be force-fed large quantities of milk and honey. This wasn't meant to nourish them, but rather to induce severe diarrhea and vomiting, which, as you can imagine, would make their confined space even more unsanitary. The honey wasn't just ingested, it was also generously smeared all over their face, particularly their eyes, and other exposed parts of their body. It's a cruel twist, turning a sweet, natural substance into a tool for unimaginable horror. It's truly a masterclass in psychological and physical degradation. With the victim trapped and covered in milk and honey, they'd then be left exposed to the elements, typically in stagnant water or under the scorching sun. The combination of the human waste and the smeared honey would quickly attract swarms of insects. We're talking flies, wasps, and other biting creatures, drawn to the sweetness and the decay. These insects wouldn't just bite, they would burrow into the skin, lay eggs, and begin to feed on the exposed flesh. It's designed to bring about a living nightmare, where nature itself becomes the executioner, which is just horrifying to think about. The process of scaphism was not quick, it was agonizingly slow. Victims could endure this torment for days, or even weeks. As the days passed, the constant exposure, dehydration, starvation, and the relentless onslaught of insects would lead to severe infections, gangrene, and eventual septic shock. The insects and their larvae would literally consume the victim from the outside in, and reportedly, even from the inside out, given the forced feeding. It was a complete breakdown of the human body, turning it into a grotesque breeding ground for vermin. A truly nightmarish scenario, don't you think? Our primary accounts of scaphism come from Greek historians, most notably Plutarch in his Life of Artaxerxes and Ctesias, whose work survives primarily through summaries by others. Plutarch describes how the victim's flesh, putrefied and consumed by worms, eventually led to their death. While some modern historians debate the exact prevalence and details of scaphism, these ancient records stand as chilling testimonies to the depths of human cruelty. The Greeks, being outsiders, might have exaggerated for dramatic effect, but the core description is consistent and utterly brutal. It's fascinating how these ancient stories endure, isn't it? Beyond the unimaginable physical pain, the psychological torment of scaphism must have been horrific. Imagine being fully conscious, completely helpless, unable to move, and feeling yourself slowly being consumed by insects and disease. The sheer psychological burden of knowing your fate, of smelling your own decay, and feeling the life literally drained from you, makes it arguably more terrifying than any quick death. It wasn't just about ending a life, it was about stripping away every ounce of dignity and humanity in the most prolonged, degrading way imaginable. It's hard to even wrap your head around that level of despair. So, why would an empire resort to such an extreme, elaborate, and utterly horrifying punishment? It boils down to deterrence. In an age without widespread media or quick communication, such a memorable and gruesome fate would serve as a powerful warning. The mere whisper of the boats would likely instill profound fear, discouraging potential dissent or crime more effectively than any swift execution. Scaphism stands as a grim testament to the darker side of ancient justice, a chilling reminder of humanity's capacity for devising truly terrifying methods of control. It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?